because you want a wall, you want border security, you want freaking illegal immigrants to come in this country freaking legally does not mean that you're a racist. On one hand, you got the President of the United States bringing in for his guest for the State of the Union people affected by the crime that illegal immigrants have caused this nation. On the other hand, you got the communist leftist freaking Democratic Party bringing illegal immigrants in because they want to showcase them.
More about the witness iceberg. Now, the party begins.
Your healthy video addiction starts now.
Hollywood's Motorcycle Madhouse on iHeartRadio.
And welcome to the show. It is our pre-State of the Union show. Yes, Motorcycle Madhouse is going to have a pre... I thought it'd be fun. Let's just put it that way because you know what? It is freezing rain out here. There's like 3 inches thick. Whatever. Call it fake news what you want. Look at the freaking TV. It is freaking cold. It's raining and there's a lot of ice. I want to thank you all for joining the Madhouse over on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, iHeartRadio, and all the other ones. I also want to give a special shout out to David Hayes, Fat Daddy, over on our Facebook stuff. He's taking care of that with all of his girls, all of his team. What's up, girls? How you guys doing? Really appreciate you helping out the Madhouse and getting us going real strong over there. Me and Fat Daddy has been going through some issues, let me tell you, to get everything hooked up over on Facebook. They robbers, they thieves, they liars. I can keep on going, but that's what Facebook is. Anyway, I want to appreciate everything that you guys do, and thanks a lot. Today, we're going to be talking about illegal immigration from our point of view. And like yesterday, I was talking about bikers are a huge voting block. We need to start getting involved with the issues. We need to start getting out there, holding these representatives accountable. We need to start voting. Get off your duffs, start getting involved, because this country needs bikers. It really does, because it seems like the average Joe citizen, they're dropping the ball. So let's get on with the issues. Today is illegal immigration, but first we got one video that we got to cover some biker news on. Let's go through that real quick.
6 major developments tonight in a story the Fox 12 investigators have been following for years.
Federal prosecutors arrested several more members of a notorious Northwest biker club on charges including murder, kidnapping, and racketeering. Fox 12's John Hendricks is live in studio to explain what police say they have uncovered.
Well, Pete and Nora, local detectives and federal agents have been tracking the Gypsy Joker Outlaw Motorcycle Club for more than a decade, and this lengthy indictment handed down by a federal grand jury today details accusations of drug crimes, violent intimidation, and even deadly torture. Video sent to Fox 12 moments, ATF agents swarmed a pickup truck on SR 503 in Battleground yesterday just before noon and arrested Joseph Folkerts. It's one of at least 3 raids that took down members of the Gypsy Joker Outlaw Motorcycle Club, which has clubhouses all over the Northwest, places where federal prosecutors say members plotted and carried out violent crimes. Another arrest yesterday, the group's national president, 61-year-old Kenneth Howes of Almsville. He appeared in federal court to face racketeering charges. The indictment accuses him of a long list of crimes, like using brass knuckles to beat members of rival gangs, all to help the Gypsy Jokers keep power in the area. But prosecutors say Folkerts and Anthony Negrinelli, who was also picked up yesterday, did even worse. They're charged with murder and kidnapping in the 2015 death of one-time Gypsy Joker Robert Huggins. Police say all 4 of those men took part in an elaborate scheme to punish Huggins, who tried to challenge club leaders. Home surveillance video captured Huggins being kidnapped from his Portland home in June 2015. His body was later found in a field near Woodland, Washington. He was beaten, mutilated, and broken. His killer shot nails through his shoes, carved out an X on his body, and knocked out his teeth. In 2016, we spoke with PPB Detective Jim Lawrence, who was investigating the case.
In terms of a lot of the homicides that I've seen, As a result of blunt force, this is absolutely the worst.
Also in 2016, our cameras were there as investigators raided 2 properties, one a Gypsy Joker clubhouse in Northeast Portland. Investigators were seen taking guns from the scene. At the time, they said the raid was connected to Huggins' murder. Now we have learned through court documents that investigators say they have handwritten notes Fisher and Deneklau sent each other in jail discussing the kidnapping and killing. The indictment claims that Deneklau cautioned Fisher to make sure the letters were, quote, destroyed, writing the last thing we need is something like that coming back to haunt us. Now, the indictment also accuses the men of drug dealings, robbery, extortion, and witness tampering. All 3 men who appeared in court today entered pleas of not guilty. A 4-week federal trial has been scheduled for early April. Reporting in studio tonight, John Hendricks, Fox 12 Oregon.
All right. Yeah, and it's important to remember that you are innocent until proven guilty out there. We have to keep pushing that because everybody in the media presumes you're guilty and, until you can prove yourself innocent. But if you come out guilty in this case, man, what the hell, guys? Come on, man. We're out there trying to save the patch, and this don't help a damn bit. Let me tell you, this is what makes the civilians turn against bikers, and it ain't cool. So, yeah, that sucks. But one thing that I do, find kind of, it's just like the other day when that Roger Stone was taken down, the media was there. Well, again, they admitted being there when they raided the clubhouse. So the cops, again, using that propaganda with the news media to get what they need. So, yeah, that was pretty fucked up. They were invited, you can say. But anyway, let's start our freaking subject today because we're gonna go over a little bit, talk about it, and take maybe a phone call or two. Then I'm gonna get my ass out and watch the State of the Union and see I'm gonna pop some popcorn, get some whiskey, and have some fun. Anyway, illegal immigration and why it's important to everybody. Now, the left and the right are to blame for this. You got the Democrats wanting the illegal immigrants for their votes to expand their base for future, and you got Republicans who want cheap labor. Case in point, that dead Senator McCain, that bobblehead dude. A lot of people on the internet call him the Canary because how many pilots he got killed in Vietnam for giving up info to the communist freaking Vietnamese at that time. He was talking like this, talk. Anyway, he was an Arizona senator, one that's under George Soros's thumb when he was alive, and hated the ideal of a wall, and that's because they want cheap labor on the right. All these billionaires and stuff like that, they don't want to pay union wages. They don't want to pay you what your work is worth. So they want illegal immigration. They get themselves a sweat factory, and they're all happy. On the other side, you get the freaking lefties out there getting the voting machines. That's why you're getting all these sanctuary cities. Now, one of the things that comes to mind when it's illegal immigrants, I'm going to push you through this video. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you some statistics as you're watching. Now, this isn't a third world country. This is San Francisco, California. Yeah, this is San Francisco, California. Now, how many veterans experience homelessness? On a single night of this year in January, there was 37,878 veterans homeless. Veterans make up approximately 9% of all homeless adults. Most homeless veterans were without children, 2% homeless as part of a family, 90% were men, while 8.5% were women. Why do they experience homelessness? Veterans, unlike civilians, when it comes to homelessness, they must navigate the lack of affordable housing, economic hardship that everyone faces, in addition to the challenges brought on by multiple and extended deployments. Taken together, these factors create a population that deserves but can often struggle with housing stability. Now, according to the research, late Vietnam veterans and post-Vietnam eras are at the greatest risk of being homeless, but the veterans from most recent wars and conflicts also are affected. Veterans returning from deployments in Afghanistan and Iraq often face invisible wounds of war, including traumatic brain injury and post-stress disorder. So, as you see as we're going down the road here, this ain't no third world country. This is California. Yep, something to be proud of. It's a sanctuary city. And here they are, all up in arms, wanting to make a sanctuary city while we got our own people out on the street. Now, how disgusting is that? That's unbelievable. In this country, we'll put you out on the street if you're a citizen, but if you come in here illegally, you get the world. That's just wrong. What the hell is going on with our country, guys? Come on, man. You know, for that to happen in our country, it's not excusable. And right now, the big debate is build the wall. Now, you got a lot of people that say walls don't work. I call BS. And all you have to do is look at the world's worst freaking geography and the worst civil unrest there is, and that is Israel. Now, Israel has a wall up, and it's working damn good, especially with what they have to deal with over there. Us, you got people just wanting to come over the border, blah, blah, blah. They got motherfuckers that want to kill their ass over there, and that wall looking like it's working pretty good. Now, people complaining that it's going to be $18 billion. Well, you know what? The way these politicians piss that out of their ass is laughable. You know, they piss $18 million down the drain to a country like, let's say, Egypt, or let's say Pakistan before we cut aid there. Hopefully they still did that, by the way. Or you'll make me look stupid if I talk about that. But I know they were talking about cutting aid to Pakistan because they weren't helping us, which, hey, bye-bye, see you later. But anyway, look at what immigration has done to Europe. And if we have any of our people from Europe on right now, let us know what you think in the chat box. Tell us, if you're from Germany, especially, look at what Germany's going through. You let everybody in, don't check them out. The next thing you know, it's a total freaking mess. And now you got some of these European countries, according to U.S. media, bitching, crying, moaning, all that bullshit, and they want them out. They want them out. See you later. Bye-bye. And that's what illegal immigration gets you. And right now in the United States, our social services are overwhelmed. Everything from hospital to what's going on in the streets with the homelessness. And what's even worse is how some of these people are actually affecting what's going on in our Medicaid system as a whole. Now, with Medicaid, it costs, here's the deal. Now, we want an $18 billion wall. Now, according to this article, it costs us $18.5 billion annually in Medicaid cost for illegal immigrants. Okay? Not legal immigration, illegal immigrants. Now, you're going to say, well, just like I said in the show opener, well, you're racist, you don't want, people in because the media, that's what they try to pin on the President of the United States, which, by the way, he can be a jagoff, and he's getting stuff done. You got to give the guy credit, but you can't see that because the mainstream media don't want to report it. They hate the guy. It's propaganda. He's pissed off everybody because he don't need their money to run for office, so they don't get to control him. So they're using their propaganda machine, the media, to go ahead and try to destroy the guy. But they won't tell you the good that the guy does. Anyway, according to this, Medicaid benefits being granted to illegal immigrants despite requirements disqualifying them from receiving the cost tax from the taxpayers, an estimated $18.5 billion. According to the latest Ramsey-UN Reports national survey, 72% of likely U.S. voters say that the issue of illegal immigration is important to their vote. and that was in the midterms. And let's see here, 42% saying it was very important. And this article's a little old, but I wanted to get you in there. Now, according to the report published by Forbes Healthcare, for 3.9 million illegal immigrants costs American taxpayers that $18.5 billion, $11.2 billion in federal taxes went to subsidize care for illegal immigrants. So we have that much money going there. Don't you think $18 billion would have freaking helped out with that little journey through California right there with all the homelessness? Ain't that sick? Are you kidding me? That's sick as hell. You got to see 10 cities like it's a third world country while the country's paying at $18 billion. Enough's enough, man, really. What you got to do is get together. And, you know, Reagan did this in the 80s. He came together and said, okay, let's freaking get this issue figured out, and we're going to grant immunity to so all these people, and after that, enough's enough. Well, he did that, and guess what? This happened. Now they're trying to figure out what to do with all these people. Now, you cannot freaking kick out, 13 million people unless you go Gestapo on their ass. You know, personally, give them a path of citizenship, take about 15, 20 years because they went in the wrong way, give them all the fines and stuff like that and all that good jive. Get their taxes out of them, you know, and get them off of that freaking Social Security scam, you know, because they use them fake Social Security cards as it is. But then you go ahead and you build the freaking wall. Now, this is just my opinion, because you got to be practical in these kind of matters. You just can't take fucking families away and Gestapo their ass out of the country now. You just can't do it. That's just my opinion, though. You got, you know, the hard writers will be like, oh, no, you can't give them amnesty, get them out of here. Well, how is that practical? Think, how is that practical to get 11, 12 million people on buses and get them the hell out of here? You got to start with the border security. That's where the president's right. And the border security is not only going to stop the illegal stuff, it's going to stop the drug trafficking, because that's where everything's coming through. It sure the hell ain't coming out of Canada. You're on air.
Yo, Hollywood, it's Tombstone. What's up, my man?
Hey, what's up, Tombstone? We're talking about illegal immigration right now, my man.
I know, I got all excited and I had to get involved.
Well, let's get involved, man, instead of me talking to myself.
All right, so here's a couple of issues. First of all, there has been a wall down on the southern border for a while. It's just never been complete. And it started back in 2006 when George W. Bush signed the Secure Fence Act into law. All right, it flew through Congress with bipartisan majorities, all right, along the lines of the Democratic senators that voted in favor of it were the following: Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama. So over the next 4 years, the law added 548 miles of fencing along the border. That was 5 times the previous length before that, okay? It cost an average of $2.3 billion, which is a little bit over budget compared to what they expected, right? $450 million was also incurred in maintenance costs to maintain the remaining balance, okay? President Trump then pledged to build the remaining balance of the wall, which is 2,000 miles. Now, we had a gentleman, and not a lot of people know about this guy, but he is the individual that tried to raise the money through the GoFundMe page to be able to fund the building of the wall, the remaining balance. Now, this gentleman, his name is Brian Kolfage. All right, he is a triple amputee. He is a combat veteran. All right, and he raised a tremendous amount of money.
Oh yeah, he raised millions.
Absolutely, within a matter of 7 days. All right, reached out to the government and said, "Hey, I have a donation that I want to make towards the wall for Trump because we need to do something about the border. We need to stop the illegal immigration across the border." And the government told him, "We cannot accept your donation to pay for that wall." Then a few days later, they get back to him and said, "You know what? Yeah, we can take the money. But here's the problem. You can't tell us what to do with it."
Oh, man. Oh, go ahead.
Okay?
That part I didn't know about.
Oh, absolutely, right? So, Trump wants $5 billion in this fiscal year to be able to strike a deal to go ahead and build the wall, all right? The Democrats only allocated $1.6 billion for the wall security. I mean, that they've already allocated for border security, not including the building of the wall. So $1.6 billion, you could start. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The total cost of the wall could be $25 billion overall.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
but do you think that? But do you think that $25 billion is worth it?
Well, that's a good question, and I will answer your question like this. You mentioned it yourself. There are foreign countries that the United States government has funded to build a wall to save the lives of people in foreign countries where they want to blow them up. But meanwhile, here we have illegal immigrants coming over, abusing our system. Probably, I would tell you, no joke, if you took in the amount of Medicaid, the amount of pay that's getting lost to the United States citizens, if you ask that big giant bundle, I guarantee you that you could probably come pretty close to paying off that wall in a matter of 5 years.
Ain't that sad? It really is that people don't know the numbers, but, and especially, it's funny that people don't understand the whole matrix of how this is working with both parties. Again, the leftists want the future vote and the Republicans want the freaking cheap labor. In the middle, you got people's lives they're playing with. Not only illegal immigrants, but American citizens' lives.
Well, the biggest problem that we have right now is the fact that somehow, some way, the government has split this country right down the middle. And it doesn't matter if you call yourself a conservative, if you call yourself a liberal. It really breaks down to left and right, okay? And they did everything that they could to slam the shit out of Trump and make him look like some kind of a racist and all the other jive. But meanwhile, he's putting together a whole program to take better care of the burial remains of shit. It left my head. Black guy.
Right. Well, you know what? Right there, you know what? Omen from the chat room just said it's funny that 8 years ago the Dems on the left were all for the wall.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people in this country don't know that this has already been passed years ago. This was done in 2006 by George W. Right? So now here we go. It's already law. It can already happen. And guess what? We've already spent billions of dollars in starting to build it. We just never finished it. See, the thing is the pictures and the video camera footage that we all see of the big gaping holes.
Right.
That's where they didn't get to finish the wall.
Right. What do you think is the actual point behind both parties wanting illegals in this country? Because they both do.
I gotta be honest with you. I don't think that either one really wants illegals in the country. It's a touchy subject. What I do know is this, and I'm a firm believer in this statement, is that the Democrats of today really don't care about America. All right.
Well, you know what?
Pretend all day.
Let me stop you there. I think you are 100% correct. Everybody knows way back then I used to be a Blue Dog Democrat. And Blue Dog Democrats, they were USA. They had that shit pumping in their blood. Nowadays, Democrats were at least try to act like you like this country.
It's disgusting the things that they've done. I mean, Hillary Clinton and Fugazi. I mean, you had an opportunity to take care of a very small amount of soldiers. You could have saved their lives, but instead didn't. And then lied to the families and said you tried, but you didn't do a goddamn thing.
Right.
I'm just lost with the thought processes that we're having these days. Democrats are real huge on gun control. We have to take guns away because all they're doing is killing people. But now all of a sudden, across the country, everybody's saying, no, it's cool to kill babies while they're still in the womb. How the fuck does that make sense?
Well, that and this law that just passed in New York where they can kill a baby all the way up to birth. That sucker can be born and they to kill it. What the hell is that?
So let me ask you this, and this is just hypothetical, but, you know, you used to get charged for shooting or killing a woman and the baby dying in the womb. So now is it okay? Like, you don't get double hit for that?
Right. That ain't murder? What the hell is this?
Seems like it to me. The problem is especially with the way that this country is going right now, there is a giant juggle for power. Everybody's trying to get to it, and everybody wants some of it. And the problem is that there are people right now, and one of them just happens to be the governor of New York, okay? Mm-hmm. He will sell his mother's soul in order to get a seat where he can be in control and dictate to people the way that things are going to be.
Right. Well, you know what? John in the chat room said it best, and, you know, this goes out to everybody out there. Watch the guest that each side has tonight at the State of the Union. That can tell you everything. We're hearing Trump's going to have victims of illegal immigrant crime, and the Dems are actually bringing illegal immigrants. So that tells you a lot right there.
Well, Pelosi wasn't too happy when illegal immigrants showed up at her house looking for a place to stay. Let's just remember that.
And you know what was funny is she didn't even take a meeting with the families whose families died because of illegal immigrants. She wouldn't take their meeting, but she'd take the meeting everywhere else. That's what I mean. The Democratic Party has been so drawn left, it's unreal. The party is not recognizable. It's not the party that it was even in Clinton's time. Now, personally, Bill Clinton, yeah, he got his Peter freaking licked in the White House, but the dude was a good president in my eyes. His wife's a freaking bitch, but he was a true Southern Democrat. You know, he had Democrat, you know, he had the, Kennedy ideals. But now, Jesus.
So, listen, I'm not going to bust any man's balls for getting a BJ, especially in the most powerful house in the entire country.
Hell no, me and you do it.
That's got to be one hell of a feeling of power. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The thing is, you know, yeah, it was a big to-do back then, and really, nobody really gave a shit that he got ahead in the office. What people really gave a shit about was the fact that he lied. All right. Now, here you go. You've got a guy who did it while he was the president.
I don't know, Tombstone. Wouldn't you lie with a freaking wife like he had? Go ahead.
Listen, if my wife looked like that, I would tell her straight to her face I got a blowjob.
I think she's a lesbian, but go ahead.
I think she's more of a muff diver than anything else.
Hey, hold on a second. I'm going to give a shout out to Christian Nomad Greg. That's Ironhead's friend. I guess he has a YouTube channel, so go ahead and check his out. But go ahead, Tombstone.
YouTube channels are popping up all over, man. I mean, I've got one myself now.
Oh, you got one too?
Yeah, hell yeah, for hashtag Bikers United, my man.
Oh, my God, you got to freaking go and look at Bikers United. You guys seen the shirt on I had yesterday. Oh, yeah, I got to hold up my pink taco. Save the pink taco. If you want a pair, you got to call Tombstone, man. He'll get you set up. You know, get them on your girlfriend, man. But shirts are coming out next month.
And get them on your girlfriend so you can get them off of her real quick.
Okay, we're straining a little bit. We got to go backwards. I'm here talking about Save the Pink Taco. But go ahead.
You got to love the taco. So, you know, but meanwhile, you know, back to the Clinton and Trump comparison, you know, Trump's getting BJs while he's in office in the White House. And then you got a guy who has his own money that doesn't even get paid by the government. He donates his pay to all kinds of agencies or organizations to help people out.
Right.
And he's getting called out on the carpet because he did or did not have sex with a porn star that he allegedly paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to. Well, guess what? She's a porn star. That's what she does for a living, and she gets paid for sex.
Right. Well, you know what's funny? This guy's he's a billionaire playboy. Do we really expect any different? But come on, we hired him because of his business
look at
sense.
his wife now.
Oh my God, the first lady. How hot is that one? Holy shit, that's the hottest.
Holy shit.
It was not only she's hot, but this woman is so damn smart. She can speak 6 languages. 6 languages. Yeah. Holy shit. Right. That's a first lady right there.
But we're trying to hammer his dong into the concrete because he did a fucking porn star 3, 4, 5 years ago. You know, come on, give me a break.
Well, you know what? It's funny is they're trying to throw everything they can at him, and he can't stick. You know what? He is the Teflon Don. Let me tell you. You know, if there was something that happened in Russia, we would have known by now. With all the leaks that there is, yeah, we would have had something on this fucking guy from now. He ain't a Russian agent. The Russian shit is bullshit. They're just pissed because he won, they lost, because they thought they were just gonna walk on stage, break that glass stealing, and boom. No, he kicked their ass. Okay, that's why they're pissed at him.
Well, that's one reason, you know, and you've made this statement before, which I wholeheartedly agree with, is the reason why they continue to discredit this man is because of the fact that he is not part of the tier 1 elitist. You know, I mean, he is because he created his own money. However, he doesn't take from the everyday average person in taxes and everything else and line his pockets. You know, the average salary for someone in Congress is $174,000, and that doesn't include the people in leadership positions like the Speaker of the House is $223,000 a year. Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Well, not to mention that most of them are millionaires.
As a matter of fact, they can't even promise you what the media net worth is because they don't have to supply the amount of how much their housing is worth, or that doesn't have to be in the report. But right now, the median net worth of average senator was $3.2 million. Now, if you were in the House, if you're a member of the House of Representatives, it's $900,000. Then you go all the way up to the U.S. Congress, okay, which each median member is worth $1.1 million. That's 12 times greater than the net wealth of the median household.
And most of them are lawyers.
And yet, somehow, the rest of these horse blindfold wearing sons of bitches out here in this world that want to pretend that this shit isn't going on, you want to believe that these people have your best interest in mind?
Oh, you know what? You hit that nail on the head. They got nowhere near your best interest in mind, these people.
They don't care about the United States. What they care about is how long they can stay in power and how long they can continue to take that money. You know, they talk about old school money back in the South. Well, this is how it started. You know, this is how a lot of that old school money came about. It's generations and generations of people just continuing to roll through the government. It's nepotism at its best.
Right. Well, you know, Lori Bell, our Southern Belle, just put, we pay teachers on average like $30,000, but these government positions, you know, you think you might want to pay them less, and here you have people out there that were actually feeling sorry for them for not getting a paycheck. Trust me, these government workers don't need charity.
No, they don't. You know who needs charity? And I'm not even going to say that in reality because they don't need charity. But how about the people that serve this country? I'm going to paint a real quick picture for you. Okay, so I was overseas in 2009. While I was over there, I worked alongside the government contract. I went outside to watch for the real action that went on. Anyway, those other guys, they were on the inside, and they would do the same job as we do, but they're contractors, right? Mm. Now, I was a specialist when I was over there, and I did supply, which means, you know, I took care of each unit, made sure they had the food they needed and the equipment and so on and so forth. And then when I had to drive out to Baghdad and get shot at because we were slow on equipment, I had to bring all that shit back, right? So,
well, hey, Tombstone, let me stop you there. We just had one in the chat room, and you were in the military and served, and I want to get your viewpoint on it. He put out there Trump never served in the military. What's that mean to you?
Oh, for Christ's sake, who gives a shit?
Okay,
you know
good.
what? You've got guys that did serve in the military that cared a hell of a lot less than the military. He cared less about the military than a guy who never served. I mean, it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? He's not starting wars. He's actually trying to stop them, where the rest of them are signing us up and throwing us out the goddamn country anytime they can.
Right. Now, what do you think about that controversy going on right now? Actually, I loved how Senator Rand Paul tried to put all the Republicans in their place, when they, they're bitching and crying about Trump pulling out of Syria and Afghanistan because he don't want these endless wars. We've been in Afghanistan, damn near 18 years now?
Just about 18 years, yeah. I mean, in all reality, we've had people in and out of Afghanistan and Iraq since 1999, basically, is when the first real war kicked off down there.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, it's been a long time. It's been almost 19 years now.
Right, so it's been 19 years, and what is it, 3 or 4 is the average deployments now for those that are on full active?
No, it really depends. So, units throughout the military, they are put on what they call rotational basis. So what happens is a unit will get notified approximately a year, sometimes 2 years in advance that they're going to be deployed. And then they start ramping up for their training to go overseas and handle the things that they need to do. A lot of it is specifically job-related training, but the majority of it is combat training, how to react under fire, how to drive a vehicle in a convoy, how to identify IEDs. That kind of stuff is what goes on. And you get entrenched with it when you're what they call it mobilizing or mobbing. That's our slang term in the Army is mobbing. So you do all that training, you mob up, and then you get shipped overseas. But you live like they don't allow us to stay at home during that training. They ship us out somewhere. Like I went to Camp Shelby, Mississippi when I deployed, and my mob was a lot shorter because I volunteered for my deployment and went with a different unit than my home unit. But so that people don't get it mixed up and that we all understand how this really works, because there's a lot of misunderstandings in how the military gets activated and deactivated and so on. About 85% of the soldiers that fought in the latest group of wars, Iraq and Afghanistan, were National Guard and Reserve soldiers. Mm-hmm. Active duty did not go overseas as often National Guard and Reserve soldiers did.
Holy shit. Now, what do you say to those? Are you for or against the withdrawal, and why?
I'm all about the withdrawal. The reason being is I specifically, at this particular point in my life, don't understand why we give so much of a shit about what's going on in another country, okay? What happens, as far as I'm concerned, what happens over in Iraq or Afghanistan, that's none of our business. When we first went over there initially, with the, weapons of mass destruction horse shit that they tried to sell us, it was all about oil, okay? So we get over there, we have these big battles over oil, but now we're in a position where we don't need it anymore. Oh, by the way, thank you, Trump. We have our own oil, and our oil dependency continues to decrease over time. So what ends up happening now is we don't rely on those Arab nations to ensure that we have the ability to suck off the giant oil tick forever, Right. So our need to be there isn't there anymore. As far as I'm concerned, they could go blow themselves up until the cows come home and have at it. If it was up to me, I'd say we should turn that entire goddamn desert right into a sheet of glass.
In a parking lot. And you know what? You being over there, everybody knows Afghanistan has been fighting each other for thousands of years. I do not think anything we do is going to help. Look what happened to the Russians, or the Soviet Union, I have to put in there, in the 80s. They got... nothing happened. They got their ass whipping sent home. They're always going to be fighting each other.
Well, they're going to be fighting. Well, they're going to be fighting each other for forever, and it's been going on. And is actually, if you read some of the historical data, as far as their fighting stances and the ambush areas and so on and so forth. Throughout history, they're the same. They're the same locations, and it's the same type of attacks that they have hit us with over and over and over again. Now, we found out that over time, that what was happening is families actually, for lack of a better term, owned an ambush location, and they continued to hand it down throughout the family for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we're still stupid enough to keep going through the same areas.
Right. Well, we're kind of, weighing off subject. Personally, I think it's time for our boys and our girls to stop bleeding over there. You know what? It's not like an Afghan's going to come over here and shoot, kill us. Personally, I think it's all about money when it comes to war. Everybody knows that. And for the left and the right to freaking demonize Trump to want to get our people out of there is BS. Okay? BS.
Well, you should want to bring your men and women home. You should want to bring them home. They should never have to be. I mean, listen, the same motorcycle culture started from all that, man. You sent guys overseas to fight for what you thought was right. When being in war, definitely back then was a money-making proposition because our industry exploded with making bombs and missiles and everything else that they could find. But that level of financial growth doesn't occur anymore because the United States government produces a lot of their own ammunitions and so on and so forth. So that's kind of where things are right now. I mean, being involved in a war is more of a political stance of saying, hey, we're willing to come and help you out, but you got to help us out the next time we go and do this.
Right. Well, you know what, that about sums it up. Talk about your channel for a couple minutes, what you're going to have on there, and we're going to wrap up the show because the State of the Union's in about 15 minutes. And but first, I want to get that's awesome that you got a YouTube channel up and going because personally, the more biker-related content out there, the better.
Well, I learned by watching the best. I took a lot of the things you were doing. And I don't say I copied you, but there's some. I think it's more of a blend of what Black Dragon's doing plus what you're doing at the same time. Actually, I hope everybody goes on to the channel. When you look it up, it's hashtag Bikers United. It says Tombstone in front of it because it won't let me change the name yet for some strange reason. But so I have an interview that I'm going to be putting up there Wednesday with from Jason Woolsey. Jason Woolsey is an amazing American. This individual was, I'm sorry, he is a great American, blue collar guy. Never had any kind of a degree. He was a high school dropout, and in his mid to late 30s, he finally woke up and said, "There's something wrong with my country." So I did a full interview with him. And I'm going through the editing processes right now. But
that's badass. We just had a question. Yeah. Hold on before you give the address. James Provo asks, Wood, can you see if you can upload images to Dirty Sam's?
Oh, you absolutely can. Just send an email over to dirtysam86@gmail.com. You can send me, listen, if you got a picture of something you drew up on a napkin, send it over, and I'll do the best I can to make what you want.
Rock on. And also, Steven's got a channel, too. Check out my channel, too, guys. Military Run, Scrouse Adventures. But go ahead, Tombstone.
So you got the Facebook page, which is it's Bikers United America. And then I've got the YouTube page. I basically blast the same videos onto both pages. And it goes, it started off with, hey, this is what motorcycle culture is. I gave a little bit of history lesson kind of thing. And then went through the process moving forward. And now I'm trying to get more involved in the news because it's more than just bikers. Hashtag Bikers United. It's about getting a hold of bikers and getting them on the same page. Because as far as I'm concerned, we're some of the baddest sons of bitches in the world. And if you can get all this hard-headed, stubborn-ass people to unite and stand up for something, then guess what? You got the rest of the world by the balls.
Right.
So that's kind of why I went with bikers is because, we're not stupid people. and we have the ability to facilitate some amazing change. I mean, hey, why else would Trump be in right now? You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
another thing, if you guys who have channels out there, and you too, Tombstone, I highly recommend Fat Daddy Productions. He can help you with the marketing. This guy is a whiz on social media. My numbers have shot up. He has a great team of girls that help him out. I highly recommend it. You know, he's really reasonable in his pricing, and it's something anybody just starting off a YouTube channel can afford. And if you want some numbers and you want to get out there, yeah, use Fat Daddy Productions. I highly recommend that. But I'm so glad to hear you got a channel, man.
Yeah, Fat Daddy actually reached out to me the other day because it was actually the day after he did the interview with you, and he's like, those underwear, first of all, I need 2 pair, and I'm blasting it everywhere. So, you know, the business is growing, you know, and a lot of it has to do with what I started doing with you, and I thank you very much for all your help.
Oh, I can't wait to get the sign behind me, man. I'm waiting for that. He made us a custom sign that you're going to see in the background, an LED sign. So, yeah, we can't wait for that. Dirty Sam Productions is our official provider of shirts and all that stuff. And I seen anybody internationally that wants the shirt, you have to email me. And we got to work out the payments for the shipping and handling because they're different. PayPal won't let me do it internationally. So email me at info@InsaneThrottleBikerNews.com and I'll take care of your shirts. But again, Fat Daddy, you need to talk to him, Tombstone. He'll help you get the word out there. He's an old school biker, man. What can I say? He takes care of you.
Oh, no, trust me, I know he's a great dude. He's, you know, besides, he's one of the funniest sons of bitches I've ever heard in my life. But on top of that, I mean, he's just a genuinely good person, and he loves the biker culture and will do just about anything to make sure that we succeed. So I just want to end it with this one statement, and it's this. If you think that you could sit around on your ass and allow people like myself or Hollywood or Fat Daddy or a couple other cats that are out there try to do the fight that you should be taking on yourself to get your rights back, not only as a biker but as a goddamn American, if you think that you can do that, you're wrong. You need to be active and you need to change the way things are.
Rock and roll, man. I couldn't have said better myself. I appreciate you having me on, Tombstone. Hope your channel grows. We'll get out there and promote you. Send me a banner. I need a banner if you want me to promote you on your channel. And I'll put you under our...
I'll put so many banners on your page, you won't even be able to see your own page.
I bet you would, man. Anyway, I got to let you go, man. We're going to finish up this show and get going and watching that State of the Union, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
And be safe.
Talk to you. And that's Tombstone, man. That's one of my favorite caller-ins. Always great conversation and stuff. He does great work. He has a veteran-owned business. And go over there, and I already emailed. You haven't answered back. I'll try to get through the emails. You got to remember, Snake, that I get a couple hundred emails a day, so it takes time to get through it. That's why I got Fat Daddy Productions helping us out at Insane Throttle, so I had to get... time management going a lot better. By the way, Fat Daddy is thinking about coming to the Michigan run, and if he does, I got to get him up on stage with me, man. I think it will be a freaking blast. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody joining us today and all the comments in the freaking chat room. If you want to help support the show, become a member of our Patreon account. You see the link below. If you just want to donate one at a time, you can use either YouTube or, as always, the YouTube Live Super Chat button. And everything that you donate goes right back in the show to make sure that it stays on Monday through Friday, because we are on Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, and the show is really developing now. Yeah, you know, we're bikers and all that stuff. We'll always talk about biker-related subjects, but we're going to expand. We're going to, you know, expand the horizons, if you will, and get other subjects in there because, again, the biker community is a big block, and it's not just about us jumping on bikes and all that stuff like they want to say. We can actually make a difference. But everybody, go watch that State of the Union and let me know tomorrow, or let me know in the comment section here what you think of how it went down. I'm James Hollywood Machikari. Thanks for the team over at Insane Throttle helping us get the word out in the groups, and thanks for all the new followers and all that good stuff. And Calgary, how you doing, Gord? Appreciate you joining in, and everyone around the world, you guys rock and roll, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Thanks for watching Motorcycle Madhouse Live. We're on Monday through Friday from 7 to 7:30. Check out some of these videos of our archives. Get to know us. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We appreciate all your support. We'll see you next time.